Today, we're back with another video in our series on Dyson vacuum cleaners with defective capacitors. So far, we've confirmed this specific issue on the V11, V12, and V15 models. You can find dedicated repair videos for each of those on the channel. Today, we're adding the Dyson V10 to the list. The symptoms, just like the others, it starts but cuts out immediately or after only a few seconds. Sometimes it won't even start until you've made several attempts. This problem can show up after 1 year of use or maybe 3. But sooner or later, it's very likely your vacuum will face this issue. Let's dive into the disassembly. You'll need just 2 tools, a Phillips head and a Torx T9 screwdriver. First things first, remove the filter and the battery for safety. Next, separate the cyclone assembly from the main body. Remove the 2 screws securing the electronic board's protective cover and take the cover off. As I did in my previous videos, I'm going to check the supply voltage using an oscilloscope. Here's the theory. If the capacitors are healthy, the voltage reading should be linear, without any sharp spikes. As you can see on the screen, the voltage is far from clean. This noise confirms that the filter capacitors are failing and need to be replaced. To access the capacitors, we first need to remove the electronic board. I'll start by cleaning off the conformal coating to reach the motor and capacitor terminals. I recommend using leaded solder here. It lowers the melting point of the manufacturer's lead-free solder, making it much easier to remove the motor and capacitors without overheating the board. Once the motor is out of the way, we can desolder the old capacitors and replace them with new ones of the same specs. I've linked the exact capacitors I use in the video description. They work great. To clean the pads, you can use a solder sucker or desoldering wick. Personally, I find that the wick gives a much cleaner result. Pay close attention here. The capacitors must be installed strictly following the polarity markings on the board. If you install them backward, they will explode and release a very unpleasant smell. You definitely don't want to take everything apart a second time just because of a polarity mistake, so double-check your work. Now let's reattach the motor and partially reassemble the unit, just enough to check the voltage again. We'll pop the connectors, battery, and filter back in for a quick test. It seems to be running perfectly now. But let's look at the oscilloscope for the final proof. Let's compare this signal to the one from the beginning of the video. The difference is night and day. The voltage is now perfectly linear with no spikes at all. We can now finish up by reinstalling the protective cover, the cyclone housing, and the remaining screws. I hope this video was helpful and manages to save a few vacuums from the landfill. If it helped you out, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more repair guides. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.